So my perspective today will be coming from the distribution side, particularly about smart metering, which I believe is one of the most impactful, initiative across the country. When we talk about technology-driven advancement in the Indian power sector, we usually discuss about the GIS substation, AI, BESS, that is basically battery storage system, HVDC corridors, advanced conductors, undergrounding, and so on, grid modernization, field automation, etc. All these are important, but all these technologies are critical for strengthening the backbone of power system. But if you ask me, the technology that directly touches the consumers in smart consumers is basically the smart metering, which is coming from RDSS. In fact, I we usually say that other technologies like what we mentioned, HVDC, GIS, BESS are very important for grid backbone, but smart metering is the last mile in technology because it is becoming the direct digital interface between the utility and the consumer. In my experience, previously, one of the biggest challenge utilities have always faced is limited data availability. Today, if you talk about, electricity demand is growing, renewable integration is increasing, electric vehicle is coming into the picture. At the same time, consumers' expectation for the fault is restoration, etc., is also increasing. And managing all of this using traditional system is very extremely challenging. Now everyone is talking about AI, and everyone is using AI platforms for their day in and day out life. But what can happen through AI is very evident. I mean, we all know that AI can do magics. But if you talk about smart metering, we have data ready in the system which we can use for the next level of analytics. If you talk about the interesting parts of the smart metering, it is not about the installation, because the real values lies not just in the installation, but the real value lies in the data which is coming with the smart metering. Once the data is coming from the smart meter to DCU to HES to MDMS platform, utilities can basically use this data for generating insights for their forecasting and so many other things. For example, utilities can identify abnormal consumption patterns, detect potential theft cases, forecast their future demands, optimize feeder loading, and they can also prioritize their network improvement or investment based on the data collected from the smart metering. And if you talk very naturally, we when you talk about the predictive utilities, uh, we have to also talk about the old artificial intelligence. Everyone is talking about you know smart metering, digital transformation is happening, but my understanding is simple. AI is only the powerful tool, but the data is the main enabler. Okay. uh, and if you look at little beyond today's discussion, I believe the significance of smart metering is only going through increase. Today, most discussion is around billing, collection efficiency, outage management, and loss reduction. But going forward, what is happening? Smart metering data will be used for next phases of the RDSS scheme. Will be the transform will be which will be used for the transformation of the discoms. um, it is very evident that India is also moving towards that vision that is called Indian energy stack, and I'm fortunate that EY is contributing to that broader initiative and that ecosystem discussion. Now, Indian energy stack itself is a very vast topic. Honestly, we can have a complete separate power talk just on this subject. But in simple terms, the vision is to create connected, interoperable, and consumer-centric digital energy ecosystem. And if you think about it, none of it's that is possible. Trusted consumer level energy data, that is where energy smart meter becomes extremely important. Whether it is consumer empowerment, rooftop solar integration, EV charging ecosystem, demand response programs, energy marketplace, or future energy transitions, smart meters data will become one of the foundational building blocks. So I have to, summarize my talk. The success of the smart meters will not be measured only by the numbers of meter installed. It will be measured by how effectively utilities use the intelligence gathered from those smart meters to reduce losses, improvement of customer services, for strengthening of their internal financial sustainability and other aspects. And as I genuinely believe that the utilities that learn to convert smart meter data into actionable insights will be the one who will be leading for the digital transformation journey. Thank you very much.